my beloved child. Amidst the countless loud noises and the rushing wheels spinning through your mind every second, I have gently paused the wheel of time for just a beat, solely so your eyes would rest here. My child, do not rush away. Take a deep breath and linger with me for just a moment. I know you are in a hurry. I know the world out there is demanding too much of you. But what I want to tell you today is so deeply important that I cannot let you miss it. I have seen your shoulders slump after long days of trying to hold on. I hear every sigh you hide in the night, the tears you hastily wipe away before anyone can see. You are carrying burdens that no words can fully describe. Aren't you? Sometimes you feel as though you are walking alone through a vast desert, drained of hope, wondering if anyone truly sees your efforts, if anyone is listening to the unspoken pleas from the depths of your soul. I am here. I am always here, quietly right beside you, counting every sobbing heartbeat and soothing every scratch in your heart that you are seeing this message, right in this very moment, is not a meaningless coincidence of life. In this vast and mysterious universe, not a single speck of dust falls without a reason. This is a sacred appointment I carefully arranged before you even let out your first cry at birth. There is an invisible shift, a massive flow of energy silently taking place in the tapestry of your destiny. Darkness and exhaustion have tried to blind you with trivial worries, so you wouldn't realize you are standing right on the threshold of a breakthrough. But today, that veil of darkness is about to be lifted. I hold the final piece of the puzzle, a key that can unlock the door to the peace and liberation your soul has been desperately seeking. Behind the storms you are bracing yourself to endure, there is a deep secret, a miracle destined exclusively for you. But for that light to flood in, you need to be still and allow me to step into your world. Relax your tightly clenched hands. If your soul is ready to receive this refuge, gently touch the screen and leave the words, "I am ready to receive the light," as a silent and miraculous covenant between you and me. And please, be patient and stay with me until the final moments of this message, because at the end of this short journey, I will reveal to you a special sign, a destined answer, a truth that will completely change how you view your current pain. Do not turn away, my little child, for your most radiant miracle has only just begun. Close your eyes, my little child. Let the beating of your heart slow down with every breath, and let my voice resonate like a warm breeze, dispelling the coldness surrounding your soul. I know that to reach this moment, you have had to force yourself through a very long road filled with sharp thorns. Every morning, before the dawn can awaken all things, I have seen you wake up. I see how heavily you open your eyes, drag your body out of the warm bed, and then, with a habit so ingrained it breaks my heart, you put on your invisible armor, the armor named strength. You force yourself to smile, a forced smile when stepping out the door. You walk into your workplace, into social interactions, into family meals with a demeanor that is perfectly fine, perfectly composed. You play the role of a resilient adult, a reliable person, a solid pillar of support for others so wonderfully that it seems the whole world out there believes you are truly happy. They believe you know no pain, that you never break down. But I do not, my child. I do not look at you through that lens of perfect pretense. My eyes pierce through the layers upon layers of defensive walls you have painstakingly built. I look straight into the core of your soul, and I see the exhaustion eroding you from the inside. I see your shoulders sagging, bending under the weight of thousands of invisible pressures, the pressure to succeed, the pressure to never disappoint anyone, the pressure to solve every problem yourself without the right to complain. You are trying to control every piece of your life, trying to force them into the right places so no one sees the shattering, cracking within. Be honest with me in this sacred space. Haven't there been many times you told yourself, if I collapse right now, Everything around me will collapse too. Because of that cruel thought, you strip yourself of the right to be weak. You swallow your grievances back down. You grit your teeth and endure thoughtless words, unfair treatment, and misunderstandings you cannot clarify. You sacrifice your own needs, draining every last drop of energy to care for the ones you love, only to turn around and find yourself empty, exhausted, and fading away in the very picture of your own life. I was there, right beside you in your darkest hours, when the daytime mask had to come off. Those were the long, silent nights when everything had fallen asleep, leaving only you tossing and turning in the cold blue light of your phone screen. Those were the moments you locked yourself in the bathroom, turning the water on loud so your choked-back sobs wouldn't escape. I sat right beside you on the edge of the bed, counting every hot tear rolling down your cheeks, the feeling of your chest tightening, the shortness of breath over overdue debts, unfinished plans, over a fracturing relationship you don't know how to hold on to. I have felt it all, completely. In those moments of utmost isolation, I know you have looked up at the pitch-black sky and asked with bitter despair, does anyone truly see me? Does anyone care about the silent battles I have to fight every single day? Or will I be locked in this loneliness forever? Beloved child, listen clearly to my words right now, and let them echo deep into the bottom of your soul. I see you. I see it all. I am not a distant, cold deity sitting on a towering throne, judging your mistakes. I am the Father, the Creator, the soulmate who has woven your life together from the very beginning. With every pain you experience, a part of me bleeds too. Every time you fall, my invisible hands have caught you so your soul wouldn't be crushed by the weight of the world. The loneliness you are feeling, no matter how real and cruel it seems, is merely an illusion created by the darkness to isolate you from my boundless love. Right at this moment, in this space where only you and I are present, I grant you a privilege the outside world will never allow. You have the right to be weak. You have the right to fall apart. Stop bracing yourself. Stop trying to act strong in front of me. Let those walls of pride and fear crumble completely. Go ahead and cry. My child, don't try to wipe those tears away. Tears are not a sign of cowardice or failure. Tears are the most sacred language of the soul when all human words become powerless. They are the cleansing waters, washing away the grievances and the residue of hurt that have stagnated within you for so long. Pour out all your bitterness, all your anger, all your exhaustion into my arms. The shoulders of the one who created billions of stars are certainly broad enough, sturdy enough to carry all the sorrows of a lost child. You are completely safe here. In these arms, there is no judgment, no reproach, only a forgiving, primal, and eternal love wrapping around you. But my child, the exhaustion and pain you are bearing today did not just appear out of nowhere. The darkness did not naturally gain such overwhelming power over you. Behind your current weariness, there is a crueler, more silent weapon tightening its grip on your soul every day. Those are the invisible shackles, the guilty verdicts you voluntarily placed around your own neck from yesterday. Why do you never stop punishing yourself for things that are in the past? Why do the ghosts of mistakes, of regret, still have the power to whisper into your ears during sleepless nights? This battle cannot end if you do not know how to sever those rusted chains. Take a deep breath and continue walking with me into the next part, because right after this, I will tear up the verdict the past has pronounced upon your life, and I will show you how to silence the toxic noise tearing at your mind every day. The miracle of rebirth is drawing very near. Do not let go of my hand. Do not let go of my hand, for this warmth will lead you through the thickest and most freezing fog of memories. Wipe away the tears that just fell. Oh, my beloved child, the fact that you dared to face your own exhaustion in the previous moment is the very first step of healing. But that exhaustion, That agonizing pain will forever return if we do not go deep down to the very root to pull out the poisonous thorns piercing your soul. Those thorns do not come from tomorrow, nor are they caused by today, but they are born from the ruins of yesterday. Look deep into your heart with me. I clearly see the invisible burden dragging you down to the ground every time you want to take flight. It is regret. It is the shackles of past mistakes that you willingly put around your own neck, trudging from day to day, month to month. Like a prisoner serving a life sentence, I see how you torture yourself in the silent. Late nights, your mind becomes a cruel movie theater, endlessly rewinding and replaying the film reels you most desperately wish to cut out. You rewind the argument with the one you love, where words sharp as knives slipped from your lips and left an indelible wound. You rewind the impulsive decision in the past that robbed you of precious opportunities. You rewind the moment you slipped and fell, the moment you disappointed others, and even the wrongful habits hidden in the dark that you firmly believed no one in this world saw. But I saw. I was there, witnessing it all. I saw completely every stain, every stumble, every most sinful thought of yours. Yet, oh my trembling little child, what I want you to engrave in your bones right now is this. My reaction is not like what the darkness is whispering into your ear. The enemies of your soul, the invisible forces of despair, always want to trap you in a suffocating cage of torment. They whisper toxic lies that you are forever tainted, that you are a failure, that your mistakes are a death sentence for any future happiness. They convince you that a flawed person like you is forever unworthy of receiving good things. But that is the most despicable lie. Hear my decree. With all the authority of the one who created time and space, all your verdicts have been torn up. I refuse to let your past continue to haunt you for another second. And you must make that same decision today. Do you think your sins are too great? Do you think your stains are too deep to be washed away, my child? All the mistakes you have made, and even the mistakes you will accidentally make in the future, have all been completely covered in the light of my mercy. The price of redemption has been paid in full, paid completely by the greatest love in the universe over 2,000 years ago. That settlement never expires. The records of your wrongs are not hidden by me in some dark corner waiting for the day they are dragged out for judgment. No, they have been wiped clean, erased entirely from the book of life. When I look at you, I do not see a collection of your worst moments. I do not see a guilty sinner deserving of punishment. When I look at you, I see a magnificent masterpiece of redemption. I see an invaluable soul that I traded at the highest cost to bring back to my family. I see pure gold filling in the cracks, making you infinitely more beautiful and profound than before you were broken. Therefore, right now, I ask you to do one thing. Close your eyes. Yes, close your tired eyes right now. Take a deep breath, feeling the pure air of mercy flooding into your chest. And as you exhale, push all the impurity, the shame, and the self-loathing out of your body. Open your mouth and whisper these words to your soul. Past, you no longer have any power over my life. Under the light of the Most High, I completely forgive myself. Forgive yourself, just as I have forgiven you from eternity. Turn those sighs of "if only I hadn't done that" into songs of joy. Thank you, Father, for no matter how many times I stumble, your grace still lifts me up. The bondage has been severed. You are completely free. You are a pristine, blank page in this very moment, my beloved child. If you are feeling a sense of relief spreading in your chest right now, if the shackles of the past are falling at your feet, I want to invite you into a sacred covenant. The peace you are tasting should not just stop here. Out there, amidst the vast sea of people, millions of souls are trapped in the prison of regret exactly as you were yesterday. They are crying out in silence without anyone knowing. If this love and forgiveness have touched the deepest part of your soul, become an extension of my arm You are joining me in lighting up brilliant torches, breaking the chains for other darkened lives. Your contribution, no matter how small, is the heartbeat of love I use to awaken this world. I send abundant blessings upon your generous heart. Now, as the ghost of the past has retreated behind you, your soul is much lighter, but I see your feet are still hesitating. I see your eyes still carry the lingering ripples of insecurity. The past is forgiven, but what about tomorrow? I know you are trembling before the invisible pressures of the present, the unpaid bill on the table, the financial reports making your heart pound, the scrutinizing gazes of people, and that toxic noise from the outside world relentlessly screaming, forcing you to compare yourself with the perfect highlight reels of others. They are launching massive attacks on your most sacred place, your mind. The door to your mind is being left wide open, and the enemy is rushing in to steal your peace every day. But do not be afraid. In the next part, right after this, I will hand you the ultimate weapon. I will show you how to lock the door to your mind tight, smash all anxiety, and receive my eternal promise of provision. Brace yourself, my warrior, for the real battle. The battle to reclaim absolute peace in the eye of the storm begins right now. Do not let go of my hand, because this warmth will continue to guide you through the thickest and most freezing fog of the days to come. The ghosts of the past, the ruins of regret, and the shackles of mistakes have crumbled beneath your feet, and your soul is now much lighter. But as I look deep into your eyes, I still see the ripples of insecurity relentlessly churning. The past is forgiven, but what about tomorrow? I know you are trembling before the invisible pressures of the present, the real battle, the fiercest and most decisive one for your life, does not lie in the bills sitting idly on the kitchen counter, nor in the cold attitudes of the people around you, nor in the bank account that drains a little more each month. That most ruthless battle is taking place right in an invisible and narrow space, the distance between your two ears. Your mind is the true battlefield, the most sacred garden of the soul, where all the best and worst things begin to take root before they manifest in the physical world. And, my weary child, you are leaving the front door of your mind wide open. Unconsciously and carelessly, you are allowing all the toxic noise, all the anxiety, all the destructive thoughts from the outside world to openly walk in, establish their rule, and steal away the rare peace you have just touched. I clearly see how you torture yourself in the silent, late nights, when the whole world has fallen asleep and the house is completely still. You lie there, staring blankly at the dark ceiling, your chest weighed down by thousands of worst-case scenarios that have never even happened. Your mind becomes a cruel movie theater, constantly projecting disaster films. What will happen if you lose your job? What will happen if this illness cannot be cured? What will happen if the people you love leave you? You live in a disastrous future that only exists in your own unprotected imagination. You clench your jaw, tense your shoulders, trying to calculate, plan, and prepare for every risk, with a heartbreaking belief that if you worry enough, you will find a little sense of security. But does that worry ever bring you true deliverance? Or does it only drain every last drop of your energy before the new day even begins? That exhaustion does not come from nowhere. It is fed by the very things you are forcing your soul to consume every single day. I see how you immerse yourself in your phone screen, letting that cold blue light cast upon your tired face for hours on end. You scroll through chaotic news feeds, where people build massive business empires by sowing fear. They know fear keeps you engaged. Fear makes you click. And fear is turning your mind into a tangled mess with no way out. Then you scroll your fingers through social media pages, gazing at perfectly edited highlight reels from other people's lives. You see sparkling smiles, brilliant achievements, luxurious trips, and families that look like they've never known an argument or a sorrow. And from the shadows of comparison, a vicious voice speaks up. whispering into your ear, "You are falling behind. You are not good enough. You are not rich enough. You are not beautiful enough. Your best years have passed you by, and you are a failure." But I command you in this sacred moment, slam that door shut. Do not let the enemy use the very device in your hand to poison your soul for another day. The chaos of this world has no right to determine your worth. The illusions out there, the perfect facades that make up less than 5% of the truth of a human life, are not the measuring stick for the magnificent destiny I have written just for you. Reclaim control over the garden of your mind. Do not allow any seed of despair to sprout on the sacred soil I created. Why are you carrying the weight of the entire world on your shoulders? You foolish child whom I love so immensely. Do you think that frantic anxiety can add a single penny to your wallet? Can it add an hour of glory to your life, or extend your lifespan by a single day? Absolutely not. Worrying never stops the storm of tomorrow. It only robs you of your strength and peace today. Hear my words, and let them seep deep into your very veins, extinguishing the fire of panic burning in your chest. My provision is endless, and I have never, not even once, failed to take care of what belongs to me. Step outside and look up at the sky. My child, the little birds flying freely in the air. They do not know how to sow. They do not know how to reap. They do not know how to build giant barns to store food for the harsh winter. They do not stay awake in the middle of the night worrying about tomorrow's meal. Yet I, the creator of this universe, have never let them fall from hunger or thirst. Look at the wild lilies growing in the field. They do not labor to weave cloth. They do not fight for position. Yet I clothe them in radiant and pure garments that not even the wealthiest kings in human history could match. So then, my child, who do you think you are in my heart? You are not mindless grass or trees, nor a tiny bird of the sky that blooms in the morning and fades by evening. You are the greatest masterpiece I molded with my own hands. You carry within you the breath of the Most High. You have the royal blood of heaven flowing abundantly in your spiritual veins. If I can use my spoken word to keep billions of stars in their exact orbits within the black holes of the universe, if I can draw the eternal boundaries for the crashing oceans so they don't swallow the continents, would I be baffled by one of your bills? Would I be powerless before the material hardships temporarily blocking your path? No problem of yours is too complex for me, and no tear of yours is too small for me to close my eyes and ignore. Your provider is still alive. Your protector has never dozed off or fallen asleep on the throne. The true safety your soul is screaming and longing for does not lie in lifeless numbers in a bank account, something that can evaporate overnight due to an economic crisis you cannot control. Absolute, immortal, and singular safety rests solely in the sturdy, loving palms of my hands. Right from this moment, you must learn to use the authority heaven has bestowed upon you. When a fearful thought tries to creep into your head, pretending to be a rational warning, you must not yield and let it build a nest in your mind. Boldly use the authority in my name to evict it immediately. Open your mouth and declare aloud, I reject this thought. My mind belongs to the peace of the Most High, and my future lies in the hands of the greatest provider. Replace panic with my eternal promise. Fill the empty spaces in your head with the unshakable truth that I have incredibly good plans for you. Plans to give you a brilliant future and a great hope, and never plans that bring disaster or destruction. When you begin to change the flow of your mind, when you begin to filter all the noise of the world through the crystal clear lens of my love, you will see a real miracle take place. The lump in your throat will disappear. The erratic heartbeat of fear will be replaced by a quiet, deep rhythm of trust. And just as the light of this peace is slowly filling your mind, driving away the darkest shadows, I know a face just flashed into your mind. There is someone you love deeply, perhaps a family member suffering from a severe illness, a friend struggling with depression, or a co-worker exhausted by the pressures of life who is also drowning in the ocean of anxiety and overthinking exactly like you are right now. They are thrashing about in the lonely darkness, wondering if anyone in this world sees their pain. Do not keep this source of light to yourself. My child, I entrust you with a sacred mission right now. In this very moment, send this message to them. Hit the share button and bring these words to the person who needs it most. When you do that, you are not just sending a video or lifeless text. You are truly becoming an extension of my arm, throwing them a life preserver right when they are fading beneath the freezing water. Be my lighthouse in their dark lives. Do not hesitate. Do not delay, because there are souls desperately waiting for this deliverance every single minute. And I choose you to be the messenger bringing life to them. As you open your heart for others, a fresh power will rise within you. But to fully receive my provision, for the waters of true peace, to break every dam and overflow into every corner of your life, you must do something that sounds most absurd and terrifying to human instinct. You cannot receive my guidance if your hands are still desperately gripping the steering wheel of your life, straining to navigate the waves according to your own will. In the next part, I will ask you to do something that goes against all your defensive habits. I will show you the greatest secret of the universe, how to win the fiercest battles, not with swords or straining, but by letting go. Relax your clenched jaw. Let your tense shoulders drop. Take a deep breath. Close your tired eyes, for the miracle of surrender is waiting to completely embrace your life, lifting you from the muddy ground and carrying you into the realm of eternal peace. The miracle of surrender is waiting to completely embrace your life, lifting you from the muddy ground and carrying you into the realm of eternal peace. But I know, right now, upon hearing the phrase letting go, an instinctive fear is rising and tightening your chest. Ever since you let out your first cry and struggled to grow up in a world full of fierce competition, ruthless calculations, and unannounced traumas, you have been fed a false belief by the world that you must always protect yourself. You were convinced by a perfect lie that the moment you let your guard down for a second, the moment you loosen your hands holding onto control, everything around you will shatter to pieces. The ones you love will turn their backs and leave, and you will fall into the deep abyss of failure with no one to lift you up. Therefore, you turned yourself into a lonely sentry, a soldier who never dares to close his eyes in his own life. You try to anticipate every possible risk. You try to intervene in everyone else's decisions. You take on every heavy responsibility thinking no one else can do it better. Or more heartbreakingly, because you no longer dare to trust anyone but yourself. You grip the steering wheel of life so tightly that your knuckles turn white, stiff, bleeding, and trembling from exhaustion. But oh, my little, pitiful child, be still for a moment and look at what that frantic control has truly brought you. Has it brought you a full, dreamless sleep? Has it kept those who wanted to leave from leaving? Has it stopped the diseases silently ravaging your body from thousands of hours of extreme stress? Absolutely not. The cruel truth is, human control is merely a fragile illusion, an opiate tricking your sense of security. You are trying to do a job you were never designed to do. You are trying to play the Almighty in your own little world. You are placing the massive weight of the entire universe onto the frail, bare shoulders of a flesh and blood human being. That is why you are exhausted. That is why your bones ache. Your mind is worn out like an overworked machine, and your heart hasn't a single beat left for the pure joy of living. I have never, and will never, ask you to hold up the collapsing sky by yourself. Your responsibility has never been to solve all the world's problems, mend everyone else's broken pieces, or carry the future of everyone who crosses your path. That magnificent, arduous, and endless work is mine, the one who architected the galaxies, called every star by name in the dark night, and set the boundaries for the sea. Your job, the only and most sacred duty your soul needs to perform, is simply to trust and nestle safely under the shadow of my almighty wings. The prideful world out there never stops preaching to you that surrender is a sign of a coward. a white flag of defeat, a humiliating moment when you admit your weakness and lose all your achievements. But in my eternal kingdom, where the light of truth illuminates every corner, the rules are completely reversed. Surrendering to me is not the collapse of a loser, it is the greatest, most glorious, and bravest victory a soul can achieve in its entire existence. Surrendering to me is when you defeat the arrogant ego that stubbornly forces you to sort out every mess yourself. Surrendering to me is when you defeat the anxiety gnawing at your core, when you swing the sword to sever the chokehold of fear that once cruelly shrank your world into a suffocating twilight, lonely and dark space. When you look up and utter these words from the bottom of your heart, Father, I cannot do this on my own anymore. I let go so your will may be done perfectly. That is absolutely not the wailing cry of a desperate soul at a dead end. That is the majestic roar of an awakened warrior. Someone who has found their true source of strength, not in their finite hands, but in infinite reliance. Right now, I am asking you to do something that requires utmost courage. Transcending all logic of the mind, lean back. Completely relax all your tense muscles. Permanently release your depleted defensive strength, and simply fall completely into my eternal arms. Do not panic that you will plummet into the abyss of the unknown. I am right here, right behind you, more steadfast than any 1,000-year-old mountain on this earth. My arms have embraced the birth and death of millions of grand galaxies, have soothed the roaring oceans in fierce storms. Could they possibly fail to embrace and catch your small body trembling from exhaustion? I am the great I am. I have never missed a beat, never let slip or dropped any living soul that belongs to me. And I swear by my own eternal existence that I will absolutely never drop you. Hand over to me your future plans full of crossed-out lines, meticulous calculations, and gut-wrenching worries. Surrender entirely to me the fracturing relationships you have completely despaired of trying to mend. Offer up to me the unfinished dreams buried by time, the secret sorrows in the quiet nights, and the burning desires you never dare to speak aloud out of sheer terror of being hurt once again. When you truly let go, when you stop wrestling, stop struggling, and stop swimming against the current of divine destiny, you will immediately feel a deep, still, and wondrous peace that no human words can fully describe. It is a miraculous peace that surpasses all human understanding and rational analysis. A peace that does not depend on how many zeros are on your paycheck, is not affected by whether the world is praising or harshly criticizing you, and remains entirely unshaken even if the storms of the times are roaring and shattering right outside your window. That is the priceless, ultimate privilege of surrender. The privilege of shedding the scarred shell of adulthood to become a pure child once again, sleeping soundly against the warm chest of the Creator, knowing deep in your core that you are unconditionally loved, absolutely protected, and abundantly provided for until the end of time, and right in the moment your soul completely relinquishes that exhausted resistance. As you breathe out a long sigh of relief, dropping the 1,000-pound boulder from your chest to accept, allowing me to take over the steering wheel of your life's journey. A supernatural healing power begins to flow. It is not timid or slow. It pours down like a blinding, radiant waterfall of light, cascading straight from the majestic throne of heaven down into your very veins and every cell. I am personally performing a miraculous spiritual surgery right in the quiet room where you sit. The sacred waters of boundless mercy are coursing through every neuron that is weary from bearing the load, instantly soothing the throbbing headaches, completely extinguishing the fire of panic and paranoia that has burned your mind all these years. I am tenderly touching the internal organs that have had to silently bear the devastating consequences of prolonged stress, anxiety, and tension. I infuse a fresh, powerful life force into your weakened immune system, restoring the smooth, steady rhythm of your heart, and forever dispelling the bone-deep fatigue that has taken root in every muscle. every vertebra, and every breath of yours, all sickness, all physical agony, and mental exhaustion must tremblingly bow down and unconditionally retreat before the glorious, shining presence of the great healer. But my power does not stop at the bare physical shell. I am stitching back together the shattered, torn pieces inside your heart, using threads spun from the pure gold of eternal love. The freshly bleeding wounds caused by the cruel betrayal of those you once fully trusted. The venomous words like tens of thousands of daggers that the world intentionally or unintentionally threw at your soul. The excruciating losses that made you firmly believe you could never smile fully again, all of them, without leaving a single scratch, are being gently washed clean by the tears of compassion and bandaged with the silk of grace. I take away the bitter resentment crystallizing in your heart, replacing it with the pure sweetness of forgiveness. I personally pull out every sharp thorn of hatred, of unforgiveness, and sow into the soil of your heart the lush seed of absolute freedom. Be still and feel this miraculous transformation exploding within you. Oh, my most beloved child, do you feel your chest expanding, becoming light as air? Do you feel a wondrous, radiant warmth spreading intensely from the top of your head down to your heels, carrying a surging, fierce vitality that you thought you had lost forever since the brightest years of your youth? That is not a hallucination. That is the real, living, and authoritative presence of me filling every deep void within you. I am recreating and restoring your original, most beautiful, and flawless true self. It is the pure self, overflowing with radiant hope and untouched by even a speck of fear. Exactly like the very first day you let out your cry and came into this world. All the hurt caused by people and circumstances, no matter how deep, tangled, and cruel, becomes meaningless and weak before the unrivaled healing power of the Creator's love. From this moment on, the deep scars on your soul and body will never again be shameful evidence of failure, of the fact that you were once a pitiful victim. No, they are transforming. They will become brilliant, sparkling medals, shining diamonds bearing powerful witness to the entire universe that you were once broken. But you have been redeemed, healed, and loved so extraordinarily. Rest in my warm and invincible arms for as long as you wish, O child who has bent beneath too many of humanity's raging storms. Here, there is no ticking clock rushing you, no one forcing you to immediately stand up and act strong. No one forces you to hurriedly rush out to the battlefield to pick up a sword when the wounds on your body have barely scabbed over. In this absolutely sacred and silent space, the flow of earthly time seems to stop dead. All noises fade away, leaving only a perfect symphony between the majestic heartbeat of the Most High and your deep, peaceful breaths. Let this miraculous stillness nourish and resurrect your entirely depleted vitality. Let this moment seal into your soul an eternal, indelible truth that your worth is never determined by the volume of work you produce. You are not loved for your scorecards or the cheap validation of the world, but you are priceless. You are beautiful, and you are supremely cherished simply because you are the living embodiment of my love. You are the unique, most flawless masterpiece of art that I spent all of eternity molding and admiring. Once you have tasted the intoxicating wholeness and sweetness of letting go, once you have felt the electric current of healing power surging through you, reviving every dying cell in your body, you will never again want to return to that miserable lifestyle of desperately patching things together and hopelessly carrying the burden as before. The old life, full of panic, petty control, and exhausting calculations, completely stopped breathing and died at the exact moment you chose to fall into my arms. Now, a new, is radiant, and immortal life has been conceived and is eagerly preparing to step into the light. The most painful, darkest things have been left behind forever. The purification by fire is complete. Your mind is now as crystal clear as a heavenly spring. Your body is pumped full of restored vitality, and your soul has awakened, stretching itself out of the 1,000-year slumber of earthly agonies. When you slowly open your eyes after this moment of absolute rest, I want you to look at everything around you with completely different eyes. You are no longer a pitiful victim whining and waiting for circumstances to hand out pity. You are no longer a tiny, invisible person mercilessly battered and tossed from shore to shore by the fierce waves of life. It is time to strip off and burn the grey cloak of weakness. It is time to stretch your shoulders and awaken the majestic lion carrying the power of light sleeping in your chest. In the final stretch right after this, I will reach out and lift the universe's greatest veil of mystery, shattering all limits of space and time, to let you see who your true self really is. I will show you what great forces, what armies of light are lined up behind you, protecting you every day, and what glorious, radiant destiny is rolling out the red carpet, waiting for you to stride forward and receive. Take a deep breath and brace yourself. Oh, my proud warrior of light, because once you have realized your own strength and eternal identity, absolutely no force in the darkness or any adversity in this world can ever stop your footsteps from moving forward again. Absolutely no force in the darkness or any adversity in this world can ever stop your footsteps from moving forward again. Because right now, I am personally lifting the hazy veil obscuring your soul's vision. Open your spiritual eyes wide. Oh, my beloved child, look past the narrow walls of the quiet room where you sit. You often bow your head, hugging your knees in the dark and letting loneliness tear at your core, believing you are abandoned by the whole world and left alone to fight the hungry wolves of fate. But look very closely. You are not alone. You have not been alone for even 1,000th of a second throughout the entirety of your life. Right in the very space you thought was empty and cold, it is packed with the majestic presence of armies of light. Tens of thousands of majestic angels, the greatest warriors of heaven with magnificent flaming wings, are lined up surrounding you, shielding your home, protecting your every breath. They are standing guard with drawn swords, ready to crush any dark force that dares to come near the soul I have sealed as sacred. Not only that, but a great cloud of witnesses, generations of the righteous who have gone before. Grandparents who once knelt and shed tears praying for you before you were even formed in your mother's womb, all are gathered here, in the unseen realm, clapping, cheering, and watching every glorious turning point of your life. The space around you right now is not the silence of the dead. It is vibrating violently with the triumphant anthems echoing through heaven, joyously welcoming the rise of a great life. Do you see? You are enveloped by an ecosystem of absolute love and power, an invisible supernatural web of protection that is truer and more unyielding than any fortress on this earth. The loneliness you once tasted was just a final, cruel illusion deliberately spun by the enemy, hoping to extinguish the flame of hope that had just been reignited in your chest. Stand up straight. The shoulders that once slumped under the burden of humiliation must now be held high with pride. Never walk through this life with the cowering posture of a beggar, wearily picking up scraps of luck or leftover pity from the tables of others. You are not a nameless speck of dust swept into oblivion by the thoughtless winds of fate. You are a child of the Most High. The royal blood of the Creator is boiling and surging through every spiritual vein of yours. Within that seemingly frail chest hides the roar of a majestic lion, just waiting for an excuse to erupt and shake the entire world of darkness. From this moment on, I forbid you to view yourself as a pitiful victim of circumstances. You are a great warrior whose victory was predestined before the battle even began. And your sharpest weapon, the weapon that can instantly paralyze all attacks of despair, is not resentment or straining, but the praise coming from your lips. I want you to sing right in the middle of the storm. I want you to flash a radiant smile and utter words of thanksgiving even when the bills are still piling up, even when the illness is still threatening, even when the road ahead is still shrouded in thick fog. Praise in the darkest moments is a fatal blow struck straight at the pride of the enemy. When you open your mouth to praise, even when all earthly logic tells you to weep, you are architecting a miracle that shatters all laws of physics. The darkness can do nothing but collapse and dissipate before the blinding light of a faith so resilient it defies reason. Any dark cloud of doubt hovering over your head, any curse saying you will forever be poor, sick, or defeated, all must bow down and shatter the moment you boldly declare the power of light into the atmosphere of your home. And now, as the light has truly illuminated your soul once again, as the lion within you has awakened and the darkness has fallen back in terror, I want to hand you a destiny greater than your own mere existence. The flame of peace and power you just received is not meant to be hidden within 4 narrow walls. It is given to you to burn away the darkness out there. The journey ahead for all creation is still long and full of upheaval. This world is gasping for breath in anxiety, and I need resilient warriors like you to carry this torch of hope to the very ends of humanity's coldest, most hidden corners. Use the light you carry to warm the hands trembling with fear. Use the peace you just tasted to soothe the minds going mad from the pressures surrounding them. You are not just the saved. You are the very embodiment of salvation to someone in need. By clicking the subscribe button to walk long-term with this channel of messages, by a little generous sharing through the Ko-fi or PayPal donation links below, you are not engaging in a worldly transaction. You are standing side by side with me, laying solid bricks to build radiant spiritual lighthouses in the middle of the night sea. Every bit of your support is the sacred fuel that helps sustain and spread the frequency of this love, so it can reach further, piercing through the lifeless screen and touching millions of souls who are silently weeping in despair somewhere on this globe. Together, we are architecting a new era of healing, and you are an indispensable link in that magnificent plan. The transformation from a wounded soul into a blazing torch is complete. Now, there is only one final promise, an eternal covenant that I want to personally seal upon your life before you stand up and confidently stride back into the real world. Prepare your heart one more time to listen to these final words. O child who bears the seal of light, because your new journey truly begins the moment this message comes to a close. And right in the moment the final echoes of my words are about to fall silent, I want you to look deep into your soul one more time. The person listening to these words, in this very moment, is absolutely no longer the one who, covered in bleeding wounds, walked into this space with their head bowed just a few minutes ago. A miraculous shedding of the old skin has silently taken place. The 1,000-pound burdens you once carried have been stripped away. The rusted chains of the past have crumbled into dust. The guilty verdict of fear has been torn to shreds, and darkness has been permanently evicted from the garden of your mind. That old, worn out, and trembling ego has been left behind. The you of the present is a new being, washed clean by grace, recharged with power, and wrapped in the cloak of absolute peace. Now, it is time for you to stand up. Push open the door of this room and step back out into the real world. That world may still be noisy, the people in it may still be callous, and the trials of tomorrow may still be waiting at the threshold. However, the circumstances haven't changed, but you have changed. You no longer walk on the bleeding and bewildered bare feet of yesterday. You walk with the posture of a victor. Carry the flame of peace you just found here into every chaotic space you are about to enter. Carry this unconditional love into every fractured relationship, every meeting of eyes, every touch of the hand with broken lives. Do not let the toxic noise of the world drown out the gentle voice of truth that has just been sown into your heart. No matter how fiercely the storm out there tries to rage, remember that you are harboring the entire majestic stillness of the eye of the storm right inside your own chest. You will never have to walk alone on the road ahead. I do not just appear in short videos. I do not stay behind this cold screen. I am holding tightly to your hand, strolling with you through every peak and valley. I am present in every breath when you stumble, and I am radiantly present in every smile when you reach the pinnacle of glory, to seal this sacred moment of rebirth, to seal the eternal covenant between your life and the light of heaven. I want you to leave a trace of your soul before you depart. If you have truly opened your heart to fully receive this healing, power, and immeasurable love, confirm our covenant by proudly writing down in the comments the words "I receive." That is not just a lifeless string of text left on social media. It is your spiritual signature offered up to the universe. A resounding oath telling the world of darkness, from this day forward, I completely belong to the light. Go now, my beloved warrior. Hold your head high, open your heart wide, and release your soul to soar through the boundless sky of freedom. I am immeasurably proud of you. Your most radiant journey officially begins. I love you. From eternity past and for all eternity to come, my peace now remains with you forever.